let's say you're completely trash in bed, and this is advice I give to virgins, as a matter of fact, because I have a lot of dudes who are complete virgins. They've never had an experience. They're like, what do I do still? And I'm like, you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're gonna be shit. I can guarantee you'll be shit. But here's something: the only thing you can bring is enthusiasm. So
act like you've done it.
So bring, or no, even that, but just even let's say she does know. If she does know you're a virgin, right? If she doesn't, then you should act like you're not. But if she does know, then just bring enthusiasm, man, because that is contagious to both sexes. Both sexes like to feel like they're sexy. So if you are just obsessed with her body, and if you're a virgin, that should be a pretty exciting experience for you.
Yeah.
Then channel that and use that, because even if you don't press any of her buttons properly, she'll at least have a fun experience.
True. Yeah. I read all the time on Reddit about virgins giving up and going to pay like a escort or something. Would you encourage a guy, if the virginity thing is really fucking his head up, to just go and pay for it and get rid of it? Or do you think that's really damaging actually in the end?
I really would need to know like the guy's specific example and like why,
because age and everything would be a big factor in all of it.
and why it's fucking him up. Like, what thoughts is he having? Like, what's this thing that's repeating in his head that is actually fucking him up? Because that could be very, very different for every guy. You know,
if it's the exact virginity thing, maybe just get it over with so you can stop calling yourself a virgin, kind of.
But I mean, like, what about that? Why do you attach so much negativity to that in the first place? Is it because like some girls have bullied you about it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because there's guys came on my show. I'm very in touch with the Christian community here in Dallas and stuff like that. And I've had some like really good Christian speakers come on and like they really call themselves. I even got arguments on Twitter with people over this, like where they really think they're very high value men because they're virgins. So I would convince them of that. I'd be like, you know, you could see the flip side and see that you're actually more high value because you're a virgin, you know, and in the Christian community, you would be considered that. But sometimes it's all cope. Sometimes people are just coping with themselves. Like that's what my big beast with the red pill is. A lot of it's cope, man. Whether it's the MGTOW or the black pill or the passport bro, sometimes we're all just coping with the fact that we can't get pussy.
Everyone seems to rationalize their worldview around like their specific circumstances, right? It's like, oh, I'm like my version of the red pill is the correct version, and everything else is wrong.
Yeah,
like, that's the cope thing. Right?
Yes.
It's like, oh, I am high value because of X, Y, Z.
Yes.
Right. It's like the like to take a hypothetical trope, like the traditional Christian conservative guy who's like, oh, I'm the real version of masculinity because I do X, Y, Z things.
Yes.
Right.
Because I semen retain.
Or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Despite the fact that, okay, his wife's cheating on him with like this dude over here who's like running around like a complete player.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not a real masculine man. Well, then why is your wife fucking him?
Yeah.
There's something going on here. Like there's an incongruency here, right? So stop coping and take a step back and look at yourself objectively and be like, okay, well, maybe you do have these things on point, right? You're a provider of the family, like you do this or that or whatever. But why is your wife not drooling over your cock? Yeah. Why does she not want to fuck your brains out every night? If she doesn't, there's a problem, right? Because she probably wants to fuck some other dude. Yeah. You put her in front of like Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm not saying it has to be Leonardo DiCaprio.
But the right part of her cycle and everything.
But there's something going on there, which is like, well, there's something in your relationship dynamic. There's something in your presenting yourself as a man, which is not making her drool over you like she should be.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna be in a long-term relationship with a girl and she's gonna be married to some degree of that, she should genuinely think you're the best option she has.
Yeah.
I think
the burning genuine desire.
Yeah,
and see, like since I teach people how to get in relationships on the show, burning genuine desire is like my main topic I talk about all the time because obviously it's something that needs to be there. I want to know from your experience, do you think women pair bond less with men that make them come after they've had a lot of bodies compared to the girls you've met with lower body counts? Do you think that basically like those girls have 30, 40, the porn stars that you've met? Do you feel like if you make them come, like you're still building a pair bonding experience because you're making them orgasm with you, or do you think that after so many bodies they're not having that same feeling?
It does when you, as from my experience being on set with porn stars and working with porn stars, you will definitely get an equivalent of a pair bond if you can get her off and make her come an orgasm. You have great sexual chemistry. She will definitely want to see you again and hang out, and you'll become friends and you'll shoot content and stuff like that. 100% that's the case.
Okay.
That would be an equivalent of a pair bond. however, is significantly diminished compared to the women I've been with who
Had way less
have a very,
bodies.
very small body count, right?
Okay.
They're going to attach to you and try to do around a lot more aggressively than a woman with a giant body count.
Yeah,
And
that's something I've never experienced. Really, I can't really tell.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
That's just my experience, and it's a lot of women find it a bit offensive when you talk these
body
things.
count. Yeah.
We talk about in those terms, but it comes down to pair bonding, really.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And that's what.
And if you want, the marriage happiness statistic, like obviously it goes down after 6 bodies, after 10, 20,
Right. I don't think necessarily, and I had this conversation with Roller the other day on Sartain's podcast, and it was like, and for me, it's probably not necessarily the numbers that matter so much, but more as the kind of men that she was with in the past.
If she was alphas.
Yeah, if she was with like 30 complete losers, and then you come along as a complete giga chad,
yeah,
she ain't like she's
You're
gonna forget.
fine.
She's forgetting about them in a second.
Yeah.
Right. She could have been with like 2 dudes, and one was like an AFL quarterback,
Yeah.
NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
Right. Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's nuance to this stuff, which a lot of guys tend to just gloss over, and they try to look at this stuff and like to try to as black and white and simple as they possibly
There's
can get
too many categories. There's height, there's dick size, there's the way I see it, there's just too many categories. Like the thing is, she might have fucked with the NFL guy and he was 5 inches, 6 inches taller than you, but what if your dick's bigger? I mean, she might like the dick more.
Maybe she's a size queen.
Yeah, you never know. That's something I've been discovering a lot on the show because we like to ask the girls what size they want. Man, there are a lot of sizes. I feel, but we only have single girls on usually, so it's like, well, now I know why you're single, lady. It's because you're looking for something that's hard to find.
Let's ask that question again tonight, because here's the way to ask. Because women have no fucking clue what 6 inches looks like.
You're right.
8 inches versus 10. They've got no fucking clue.
You're so
every
right.
guy does. I guarantee every guy knows because he's got a personal ruler in his pants, right?
Yeah.
So the best way to ask a girl that question is to make her do it with her hands. Be like show me hands, like how big it is, right?
I'm gonna have to ask every episode like that now. I did not even think about.
It's a better way to ask it.
Because they really don't know what the fucking size is.
And the second thing I'll add to that is women and men have a very different perspective on like when you talk about size of a penis. Dudes think length. Women typically think girth.
Yeah,
totally different, because from their perspective, they're feeling the girth. It's a feeling of being filled up for them, right?
Yep.
Totally, like they don't really feel the length unless it's hitting their cervix, and then it's really long, and it's like pounding their cervix out.
Very true.
That's a total perspective. But dudes sort of get obsessed about like the length thing.
It's not a big deal.
Totally different.
I actually learned that years ago when I was listening to our radio here in Dallas. I think it was like 106 or something. They were like asking a bunch of girls that question. Almost, I would say 90% of the women said girth that they wanted, and I was like, wow, it was a life-changing moment for me. But yeah, they're definitely fucking true.
I mean, that was my experience in the like. I'm not a very long guy, and I was in the porn industry for like professionally for like 5 years, right? But I am relatively girthy.
That's all that matters.
And I would always get referred as like when other girls would talk about me to other female talent, they would say I was big.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you just fucked a dude with a 12-inch cock.
I'm not big compared
How
to
the fuck am I big compared to this guy? But it was purely after hearing that long enough, I was like, oh fuck, it's the girth thing.
Man, that's crazy, guys. You just need to get those shots where it makes you more. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that what that's a porn star thing too, right? Sometimes they like do the shots right before a show.
I don't know anyone who ever did one before a scene. There's like a surgery you can get where it's like they take fat.
Yeah.
And they'll inject your own fat into your cock to make it like girthier. I knew a guy he was a porn star back in Australia. This dude had like a 9-inch long cock. And I'm like, bro, you're fine. And he got paranoid. He didn't
want to have a stick.
He was self-conscious that his dick wasn't thick enough. I'm like, motherfucker, you're packing a tool that could club a baby seal, and you're being paranoid. Like every dude is self-conscious.
Dude, that's crazy.
Every dude is self-conscious.
No, and I truly believe that. Like honestly, I'm in a really good position. I'm still self-conscious, and there's no reason to be. It's like I think, like you said, every guy, because there's so much porn, there's so much shit that you look at on the internet. There's so many reasons to be insecure. Like I think the internet fucked everything up. So this next one with that. Is it the iPad generation or older generation having more trouble with pornography, you think? I call it iPad generation the 25 and unders. Like, do you think that like they're having way more trouble with pornography than like the 25 and up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm very great. How old are you?
I'm 31.
So you were born before the iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got my first iPhone when I was 18 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
I am very, very grateful that I was born before the iPhone. I think everyone on this planet who was born before the iPhone has a massive advantage in life, and a large part of that is their attention span.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I'm learning on the show. Like, it's like some of the people that are 30 plus, they're kind of based, but the girls that are 25 and under are living in a completely different world from everybody else.
And
like,
the guys are all depressed.
Yeah. All the guys I feel bad for. It's just like I'm constantly trying to help them, but it's just like help yourself type of thing, as you know. You know. Will you get into a relationship, and if so, at what time would you like to have kids?
I'm trying to have kids this year.
This year?
Yeah.
And are you gonna do like I remember Tate said in one of his videos, like, you should have a woman in different countries and have kids in different countries because it's safer, and you just go visit them every once in a while type of thing, or would you want to be more home around them more?
I have a similar view to Andrew on this topic. In the case of like, okay, I'll have like, maybe one, maybe two, maybe three, maybe a few baby mamas or whatever. I'm not going to abandon my kids. I'm going to look after them, obviously. I'm going to provide for them financially, and I'm going to spend time with them. But I would agree with Andrew and Tristan on this, that you don't need to be around them
all the time,
especially when they're babies.
Yeah.
I think a baby is a job for a woman.
Yeah.
And once that child is, able to speak and start to absorb information and learn through osmosis, and then, through you actually conveying ideas to them, that's dad's time to step up and really take control.